Well, hello. If you don't know yet, my name is Andrew, and man, do I owe you an apology. It has been far too long since I have even spewed an update to you guys, let alone just a video as a whole. It has been 4 months to be precise. And let me just take a moment, just face to face, to really speak about what's been going on, right? I mean, tomorrow night, at 12:37 a.m. to be specific, my flight takes off to Ciudad de Mexico, right? Oh man, this is a new chapter within my life. Why did I plan this and why did I do that, right? The reason for that is because I have been in a specific mental state where a lot of, let's say, my habits and vices, I'm not a big fan of at the moment, right? I really needed this opportunity to really tone in some of my routines and really just be alone with my mind and the world, right? Because there's going to be nobody around, obviously, except for the other people who live in, La Ciudad de Mexico. But I'm traveling by myself. And when I go there, I really want to take an opportunity to just dive straight in and really learn the language of Spanish, right? Because I know bits and pieces. I've been learning the past 2 years. I'm half Mexican myself, but I'm trying to, bring back the roots a little bit. So I figured it'll be a nice time to actually go, just really throw myself into it. And on top of that, really dial in a few different routines like I had mentioned before. What does that look like? Well, with my business, as you can see behind me, it involves supercar rentals. That is what field I am currently in, and as well as on top of that, really dialing in the content game because I've been lacking on YouTube just a little bit. But in the meanwhile, I've been growing my presence within social media platforms like Instagram. I haven't cracked TikTok quite yet. Ever since the AI algorithm shift, it's a lot different than before. But Instagram, haven't been doing too bad. I had a video hit 2.3 million. Another one hit, I believe, almost 8 million by now. So, working on it and really trying to not necessarily niche down, but make it just about me. This is my life, this is my story, and see how I can use it as a form of leverage in any endeavor that I put my mind towards, right? So, for example, with what I'm doing right here, a lot of times I will post on Instagram things that are a little more tailored to supercar rentals. Why? So I can push those out, create my business around that, and really use my platforms as simply, like I had mentioned, leverage. So that is what has been going on lately. But before I even got into this position right now, there was a little bit of a low, right? I had been living with my cousin at the time, and what an interesting few months it was, right? It wasn't very long, but it taught me a lot about myself and a lot of what I want out of my life. See, when I was there, I had been doing everything a little more isolated, right? And not really experiencing life for what it is as much as I used to. Because even as I've been grinding and been building, I still made sure to really incorporate experiences, right? I felt, and then I noticed at that time, I was really just kind of trapped within my own mind. I was really just making myself sit there and work. And that works for some people. But truthfully, what I realized is that I need experiences coupled in. I like to, put myself in, I guess, interesting places, do interesting things. And that doesn't mean I don't like to work. Because trust me, I allocate the time to do what needs to be done and work hard towards it. However, why not have a little experience along the way? I feel like your life isn't supposed to be tailored around your work. It's the other way around. Your work should be tailored around your life. That doesn't mean be lazy. That doesn't mean slack off. None of that at all. Because you need to find a clear map and visualize exactly where you would like to be and really relentlessly work hard until you achieve that dream, which is what I'm in the process of doing. However, how I've actually gotten somewhere is always doing the work that is necessary. But what is very important is that you need to get yourself out there. You need to build relationships, spark conversations, because who knows, maybe you might work super hard at A, but then realize you were really meant for B. And that is the transitionary period I feel that I am in at this very moment. Because I know once I go to this trip to Mexico, man, it is going to be smooth sailing. Why? Because I depicted a clear map and I know my purpose and goal behind going to this trip. Once I go, I am going to turn out to be a better, more thoughtful, and more decisive man. This is for the betterment of myself. All I must do is really focus on having a solidified routine every single day, see the world, and get a different and more broader perspective. Because once I do that, once I put myself in these different atmospheres, there is much more I will learn doing that than just being isolated at home with only my own thoughts. Because sometimes when you're out there in the real world, you realize, oh, this works a little better than that. And it's something you can't necessarily learn from just sitting down and having nothing but your own thought at your work, because in the real world, a lot of people get a mentor, right? A lot of people learn from trial and error. How are you going to do that if you're just thinking with yourself? Yeah, sure, there's Claude, there's ChatGPT, but you know what that does? It dumbs you down just a little bit. You really need to bring true creativity from here, and that will benefit you in any realm. That is why I'm going to Mexico. Once I go there, I will truly take the time to make sure I'm not consuming yet producing. I'm really going to take the time to actually sit with my mind and just be within the present moment. Because truthfully, our mind is so scattered in the world we live in, and we really need to make an effort to just be within the moment and just think. We live in a world now where information is just all around us. So that's where we need to come up with our own creativity. We need to come up with new thoughts, new ambition, new goals that aren't just what everybody else is after. Figure out what is the next big thing, what does that path to your life really look like, and follow the map to get there. Sure, there may be, some enemies here, some little blockades there that you weren't expecting, but at least have that clear trajectory and envision so deeply what you want that there's not even the reality you're in where you're not already there. I actually learned that from being an actor from 18 to 20. I'm 22 now. And let me tell you, the way you would imagine things, the way you would bring real emotions to light was envisioning that you were already there. That is the element you need to bring to any endeavor. Why? Because if you envision that you are already there, then life will become that way. Man, it has been an interesting journey to get to this point. And I gotta give thanks to God for really just being there with me every step of the way, through the highs, the lows. And I really want to say thank you to you all for just being there and sticking with me through this short YouTube journey that I've been on. Short because I have some content, but trust me, it is only getting started. So follow along with me for not only these next few weeks, yet these next few months, because I'm going to be updating all of you on my trip to Mexico City. Let's do it.